There is official breaking news that Paramount have done it again. They've now gone and signed the Duffer Brothers, the guys that gave us Stranger Things, that gave us The Upside Down, on to an exclusivity deal with Paramount. Let's get into it, and welcome to the Tachyon Pulse podcast.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
Okay, I tell you what, Paramount are just like boom boom at the moment. They are hitting them out of the park, and it's really refreshing to see how quickly they're working on all this stuff, but I'll come back to that in a minute. What's the actual news? Well, at the end of their current deal with Netflix, which is early 2026, the Duffer Brothers will be moving over to Paramount. They've signed the deal now, and it is an exclusivity deal. Now, sadly, or good actually, it doesn't mean that Stranger Things will be moving over, and nothing to do with Stranger Things will be moving over to Paramount. Netflix do own the IP on that, so if they decide to do a Stranger Things movie, which is possible, they would have to do it in cooperation with Netflix and Paramount. Stranger Things have happened on Stranger Things, so that would be an interesting possibility for the future. But what the deal actually is a 100% exclusivity deal. Paramount have basically signed these guys up. Any movie, TV projects, etc., that they want to do, that Paramount then greenlights, they're going to get to do with Paramount. I think this is a really good deal, even though I do think about things like the Russo brothers when they, did those amazing movies for Marvel. When they went over to Amazon, they did The Pigging Citadel, which was bad. And Amazon spent a crap load of money on it because they went, the Russo brothers, the guys that made billions of dollars for Marvel, let's get them over and give them billions of dollars to make this utter crap. And they didn't give billions of dollars, but they gave them a lot. So, yeah, it doesn't always work, but let's fingers crossed that it can for this. Talking about Paramount, though, now they are just absolutely banging them out at the moment. It does feel like every single day there's a new announcement. Every single day there's something else to talk about. Earlier I was talking about how they might buy Warner Brothers, and I told you guys, I heard this rumour ages ago, but I ignored it. I thought it was nonsense. But the way these guys are operating, I'm now not so sure. They only signed, I had this deal finalised, a week and a half ago or something. They've already signed on the UFC, so the Ultimate Fighting Championship for next 7 years. That's a big deal for Paramount. That is going to make them a crap load of money. And to be honest, it's really, really important for them because that's kind of like the missing piece on Paramount Plus, etc. All of the other streaming providers have got some sort of sport on there. LMS is on one. MLS is on one. I think that's on Apple here in the UK. Nobody's watching that. Even bloody Netflix has WWE. So, and I guess a load of American football games at the in the winter sort of months. Amazon's got a load of Premiership games over here in the UK. So, yeah, they're all trying to get some sort of sports franchise on their platform. Paramount have done it already. They were sort of talking about Star Trek and Top Gun and how they're going to do at least 15 cinematic movies a year. Something I was a little bit surprised about because cinema's really in flux at the moment. You never quite know what's going to work at the cinema. A movie can come along and make $1 billion that you don't expect, and then the next film comes along, summer blockbuster, you think, well, this is going to kill, and then it just doesn't. Superman, really good film. It's just about broken even. Fantastic Four, really good film. Hasn't quite broken even. Even when the films are good, they're not necessarily doing brilliant at the cinema. So I think it's a bit of a risk. But it does feel like cinema is steadily recovering. It is actually slowly getting back to pre-COVID numbers and profits. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe by the time these projects actually hit the cinema, it will have recovered a bit more. And at the end of the day, if they make good movies and people start to trust Paramount again, yeah, it can do well. And at the end of the day, they're going to do Top Gun 3, and that will make $1 billion. So I think that could be crap. Maverick could fly into a brick wall in the opening sequence of the movie, and that will still make $1 billion. But for example, again, they've told us they're going to crack on with Star Trek, or that Star Trek is a massive priority for the business. Now, they were kind of mentioned in the movies at the time, but I'm being told actually they mean it as across the board, really. And I think he kind of said that in the statement, that for all parts of the business, Star Trek is really important. I've been telling you guys for months now, they wanted to have the contract extension or no contract decision by Christmas. But the way they're going, it really wouldn't shock me if we got an announcement just out of the blue. I've already told you guys earlier this week that I've been told that actually Skydance were working on sort of a contract or pre-contract agreement for Secret Hideout ages ago, but that it's actually ready. They apparently haven't shared it with Secret Hideout yet, or at least as far as the people I speak to know. But that they basically prepared a package that Skydance and their Paramount could live with. I'm actually told it's a bit of a take it or leave it deal. So I think actually weeks, months, we could know. I would actually argue the longer it goes without an announcement, if you want Secret Hideout out, I would be rubbing your hands together. Because if they don't get a new deal, they won't announce it till late. It'll be a couple of months before. If they do get a new deal, it'll be announced as soon as it's done. So yeah, this is one of those things that is no news is good news thing if you want Secret Hideout out. But I wouldn't bet on Paramount taking very long with this deal. Getting the Duffer Brothers signed up, one of the hottest properties that Netflix has, is a big deal. Getting the Ultimate Fighting Championship, big deal. And I just think Paramount is very exciting at the moment. Their stock price has gone up by like 30%. Fair enough, before the sale, it went down a lot, but that is a decent recovery. They are injecting capital. They are already, I'm being told, sort of like going through and looking at other businesses and trying to slimline down things. They're already looking at some redundancies, but promise they're going to be the last. Yeah, there's major things going on at Paramount. And then we talk about them maybe buying Warner Brothers, something I just don't think was true when I first heard it. But now you can't say no, because they really are smashing this out the park. And technically they weren't supposed to be doing it. My understanding is until the actual deal was ratified and finalised by the FCC, the Skydance executives were not supposed to be working at Paramount in any official capacity. But there is no way deals like this and deals like the UFC were managed, organised, negotiated this quickly. It just wasn't. They must have been working on this for months, or at very least directed Paramount to. So, it's a little naughty. But, I don't know, so is paying off Trump so that the FCC would actually finalise their deal. But, I'm going to lose subscribers to that comment, never mind. But, yeah, I'm just really, really impressed how well they're doing with this and how quickly they're cracking on. I've never known a deal like this so quickly. And you guys know, look, as a Stargate fan, we're looking at Amazon and going, why can't you get stuff like this done this quickly? Because they just haven't. And not just Stargate, RoboCop. God, even Legally Blonde, which is about to go into production when they bought the company, is still happening, but it's happening very slowly. Amazon do everything at a snail's pace. Actually, Dave Ellison and Skydance are showing it how it can be done. And I find it very exciting. They're showing the whole industry at the moment how it should be done. It really is fresh blood in an industry that maybe has stagnated a little bit recently. Old blood running these old studios. Shaking things up, and I like it. But guys, get into the comments, tell me what you think. The Duffer Brothers moving over to Paramount, but generally, Paramount as a whole, are you impressed with what they're doing? Go on Deadline. Every single day something else is coming out. Get into the comments, tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else. Go check that out too. As always, please stay safe and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.